Hi, it's Colleen Schmidt from Divination Counseling Service here today to present the sign of Cancer for July 2021. So if you're a Cancer rising, Cancer moon, and in particular, of course, the Cancer sun, you want to stop in here. There could be a message here for you today. Before I begin, as always, I like to take a moment for gratitude. First, to thank you for watching this video. Also to thank all of my subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider becoming one. With that said, if you would, please like, share, comment. I'd love to hear from you. So we're going to be looking at the sign of Cancer with our Rider Waite Deck, the American version. We're going to be doing a Celtic block, really a Celtic cross, where then I pull 3 extra cards to create a block, and they become our clarifiers. Once I'm finished, I'm going to come back to you with the asteroids that will be running through the sign of Cancer in July 2021. In order to pin those down, I will be using the new moon chart of July 9th, 2021. So with that said, let's jump in and let's see what messages the cards have for the sign of Cancer. So here we are, and we're going to, as always, allow the cards to pick our significator for today's reading. So we're going to cut the deck into 3 piles. Feels like we have a card. So our card significator for today is actually a good one, Cancer, in that we are seeing the 8 of Swords, and she is in reverse for this significator. Okay, she's in reverse. Ironically, she's a great card to be in reverse because it means that you, my Cancer friends, are getting ready to free yourself up from something that you have been bound to. So that's a really good card for this reading. Of course, when she's right side up, you are bound to something, and that you're very, very connected to it. In this case, you're freeing yourself up from whatever that is. What crosses you, this is a couple of things. First of all, it is the Knight of Wands. So it is about making the right connections. And what could be crossing you is you're freeing yourself up. And this could either be a cheerleader, this could be a person who is egging you on, helping you in that respect. It can also be just that idea of making those connections. The third card, or the card that is the foundation of the reading, talks about how you may have been manipulated, maybe even lied to by other people. That's what happens when this card is reversed. Right side up, the person has all the resources they need. They can actualize what they need. But when it's in reverse, you get the idea that you're not able to. And usually it's because you've been manipulated by another force. And it's interesting because what crosses you is, it's almost like what crosses you, because it is a knight, is a subordinate. If I would go professional, I'd say somebody who's under you. But I do feel as though you have been manipulated, Cancer. And that's the base of this reading. Where you're coming from is that you're ready to take a hold of, or you've been taking hold of, new opportunities with both hands. And that is, that's actually an excellent passing card. So apparently all of this has been going on and you're already in the process of that opportunity. As a matter of fact, the Devil, which is the end of a cycle, right side up and upside down. The difference is that here you get that people are tied to something that is not good for them at all. Okay, they're just, it's not good. Here again is that letting go of doing things for the right reasons and in the right ways, not being on a power trip. That's what they say about that card. So again, it's the end of a cycle, but it's one in which you may be actualizing it and you're doing it for the right reasons. Your future looks good and bright. Ah, I love that. Your future is the sun card. You are planting seeds coming up in July that will take you into the future. Yes, beautiful card. Beautiful place to have that card. What you bring to the table, well, a lot of apprehension due to inactivity. You've been very anxious. Most of us have been. It's in the skies. But it's also talking about how things haven't come into being. See how the it's the where the cards are facing. It's hard to get. Nothing's happening. That's what it feels like. Okay? Right side up, a lot would be happening. So it's the opposite. So that's how you're feeling about the situation. Externally, things are changing. The Tower, perfect card. The external circumstances are allowing you to move on. Things are changing. And that change allows you to set up a new future. Your hopes and your fears, don't regret what's happened. Don't look back and regret it. It is what it is. Or as the card saying goes, don't cry over spilled milk. I think you're afraid you might regret something, Cancer. I don't really think you will. Oh, this could be an outcome card, but I'll do the 3 clarifiers just the same. But it is the Hermit, and it means that you're really kind of learning a lot about yourself. And this is a going within card. And you're learning who you are. And experiences probably recently have taught you more about yourself. And so this card means that even if you're social and you're out with other people, and you very well might be with this card, okay, you're not sharing a lot. You're still keeping to yourself, and you're still learning. So I'm going to grab our 3 cards. Okay. And, oh, okay. So we have here that you've been very frustrated, okay? And there is a sense that things were just not right yet. And maybe they're still not as we approach July. I think they're going to change in July, especially with the rest of these cards. So you get the sense that something isn't right yet, that things aren't right yet, that these are not the right players, that this just isn't right yet. And sometimes there's just the sense of wanting to give up and throw in the towel. Okay? So again, if you have the Star card right side up, as above, so below, that's the main card reading, which is that even though it doesn't feel like it's right, and even though you may ask if it's right, it's right. When it's upside down, it's not right. And generally speaking, you know that. You know that because you're ready to give up and throw in the towel. You just can't deal anymore with this. Very frustrating, very difficult. But nor will you have to. You've completed this karma as the World card is right side up. It's time to move forward. And the World card is saying you've done as much as you can in this circumstance. And you know that you have, because you're at the place now where you are able to go within, learn more about yourself. And the World card says, yes, you're prepping yourself up to move forward into the next chapter of your life. Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful stuff here. Wonderful. So these cards are indicating that you're moving forward, and July is probably going to be when that starts. So it's a recognition within yourself, and that's a wonderful thing. So let's check and see if the asteroids will give us even more information. I'm back. So we're going to look at what's coming up in Cancer, and One of the things that comes up first is something about people in charge, and maybe they're not all that they should be. Maybe there's something in the past regarding that individual. Maybe they've been making some mistakes. So you want to immediately look at perhaps not only just credibility and what details it takes to become a credible authority, but also maybe what the authorities are that are already in place for you that you're dealing with. The other thing that it talks about is, when people drink, they can be so charming. When people are involved in any form of substance abuse, sometimes they can be better, but really there's a lot of defeat there. So if you know somebody that has some problems, they are feeling rather defeated, regardless of how charming they appear. So that's something, whether it's you or someone you know. It even refers to the fact that, you know, getting and giving help at the final hour is highlighted in these asteroids. And it means that you would be willing to jump in and help somebody else. But it also means that if you're the person who's going through something right now, look around, because I think there is somebody who could help you, even if it seems to come at, like I like to say, the 11th hour. The Requiem tells us that overall, there's a sense of peace about what's going on. Like in your case, there's an awareness that we're going within because cycles are changing. And we go back to the very first card, which is that you're freeing yourself up from things. And with that said, there is a sense here of being at peace with that. Okay. If you're a cigarette smoker, it's a great time to quit. That's the other thing. The moon and the sun are making their connection in Cancer. So the new moon is in Cancer at this point, and that generally gives the energy of Cancer a lot more confidence, maybe even optimism as a result of that. And it does allow you to free yourself up. And one of the things that are highlighted with that sun and moon is learning, academia. And it means that this is a really good time to learn. And ironically, that goes with the Hermit. So it also goes with the World, but really with the Hermit, where it is your time. This is where it starts tying into the cards. It is your time to learn. And through learning, you could be a champion. Okay. You can also be a champion because Circe is there and you could help somebody. So that's another factor in all of this. Be alert. Be conscious of what's going on around you. Try to avoid temptations to repeat past patterns. Remember that this card reading is about breaking free of some things that you've been bound to. And the other thing is honor the truth. I definitely see a hunting of the truth, because it does talk about how you could be dealing with people, circumstances, situations where people are very clever and allow the repercussions of whatever it is their action was to fall on the shoulders of others. And that is something else you want to be aware of. And the big thing is that when that happens, there could also be what's called the Psyche-Ophelia reaction. They've been running around together. Now they're getting ready to leave the energy of Cancer. But please, let's bear in mind what they are. And that is that Ophelia is an overreaction to something that was wounded inside of you or others that maybe happened even a long time ago. And they're not necessarily reacting with rationale, but more from a place inside of themselves that's wounded. And therefore there is a tendency to overreact. And sometimes if we know that, we can be more forgiving of those circumstances. So bear that in mind. Be aware that right now it is about championing, being the champion. It is about uh, hunting the truth, if you will, seeking out what's really true, not just for you, but overall for everybody. Truth is important. And if that truth relates to the fact that somebody over there is overreacting, and it could be related to something that has nothing to do with what they're overreacting about, then maybe you need to be their champion. Just something to think about. With that said, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful, my Cancer friends. But as always, be well, take care, and until we meet again, I wish you only happy